Yeah, my name's Stu. I'm from Portland, Oregon, 40 years old, and I've had a lot of experience with psychedelics. A lot of it has been sort of around a more party vibe, music, and friends and that sort of thing, camping. You know, I've always felt a lot of connection with it and had a lot of insight, but I've always known that there was a lot deeper to go with it, more intention, more preparation. And then with ayahuasca, knowing that the purge was part of it and that it wasn't just this fun thing. It was more getting to your issues and getting to sort of see things in a clearer way. That's what drew me. And then just dealing with some, mild depression, some just apathy in life, just sort of feeling lost in a path and those sorts of things. We're also, from talking to people and them tell me their insights led me to want to come do this work. There was definitely a lot of blockage in the beginning. I think that had to do with the fear of the intensity of the experience, had to do with the fear of the purging. It had to do with, just like not being able to let go fully and let the medicine do its work. I think it also had a lot to do with realizing that I needed to, it needed to be like a two-way street. Me being willing and I don't know if that makes sense, but I had to open up to it and remove those initial blockages to get to the next level. And that's how the first couple ceremonies went. The first one, I felt nothing, and then after I had the Ikro sung to me, I felt heavy and wanted to lay down. And then after it ended is when things started coming up. Things with my family, losing my parents at a young age, and some healing around my relationship with my father, those sorts of things, and just purging through tears was like the first thing. And it was actually when you told me that was another way to purge, it was like just started flowing, and that definitely set up for the next night because I was able to take those fears and self-doubts that I had and make those part of the purge the first time I actually vomited. And then from there, it's like that's when just like I started feeling more of a love for myself, more of an idea of what was important. Leading into the third ceremony, that one was just mostly on the love side. It was a little bit of discomfort and uncomfortable feelings, the purge that then led me just to feel this immense love. And it was even showing me things that I needed to work on. But it was saying to me, it doesn't have to be right now. Like, oh, there's this thing and these things in your life, these things that you waste your time on, and to not focus on what's important and sort of just distract yourself. But you don't have to work on it right now. And I was sort of like, okay, so when do I have to work on it? And that happened to be the next night. So that ceremony, it started, instead of starting with feeling awful and purging and then feeling great and just full of love, it started with beauty and beautiful visions and all this, and then the purge came, and it just was like, here you go. I mean, I hit the floor. I couldn't even lift my head to see if Maestra was getting closer to me, because I knew I wanted to be up from when she was there, and that was important, but I couldn't even check. I could hear she was far enough away, and started processing these things, and it was a lot of what you guys told me about how these processes were, you're seeing these things to get rid of them. And some of these things would come up, I would say, okay, well then I just don't need that, and it can, and slowly I was able to gain some strength and get my head up, and it was almost like I just felt like this, like a proudness coming and being like, okay, like those things are there, they don't have to be. Like you can replace those with being more present, being, not being distracted, with shopping or, things that just didn't serve me or whatever those things might be, and instead give that energy to the people around you, give the energy to, up your path and your focus. So it just all became very clear, having these ideas of what it would be about, and then see, which they lined up, the ideas of what I thought I would experience and what I did experience did line up. The process was different than I thought it was going to be. Like I thought it was just going to be like, drink the first time, here you go, there it all is, you know. But instead it was like, even being very frustrated with it not working, the next day I would think about it and I'm like, oh, well, it makes sense. That block was there from me, like, you know, being afraid or so. In the end, I think the result was similar. I felt like I experienced the same things, but the process of how it worked was totally caught me off guard. Yeah, I definitely felt, you know, from previous experiences with psychedelics, like having hard times and just being on your own with it was a tricky thing. You know, you're no one's telling you what to do. No one's giving you any sort of information of what to expect or when this comes up, this is why, like what everything, the whole process was. So even at first, you know, skepticism was a thing. So when I'm hearing her sing and I don't understand the words, so it's like it's hard to really understand. There's a disconnect just with the language barrier. But then when I saw it, the first time that she came and sang to me, and the fact that it affected me, it started to make sense, and I could feel that with Juanita, that she was doing work. And then, you know, when you guys taught us the translations and a little bit how, you know, what some of the things she was saying, I was like, okay, you know, understand what she was calling and how it was working. And then throughout the process, when she would come sing to me, Juanita would come sing to me, there'd be a shift, there'd be a change, there'd be a purge. So, you know, it opened up my skepticism and to really start to believe in it. And especially the third night that I went into this heart open scenario, it was just like, really was just shown the power of this work and how it was working. The first night after the ceremony, when I was just going to this dark place and started processing things, you know, you coming over and talking to me and explaining things just helped the process as well. Just having guides. You know, before it's just been me like just going, oh God, this is horrible, this is gonna pass, but there's nobody, you know, sort of walking me through that. And so I imagine, like, if you hear people that will do this, like, oh, my buddy got some ingredients to make some ayahuasca, we're just gonna drink it in his basement tonight or whatever. No, yeah, it's not a good idea. So yeah, the space felt safe, what you and Carolina created, and you know, and again too, if it was just Juanita and not being able to really communicate with her, so it's like the space, and then you guys with the connection to get us here, and then the connection to her to facilitate the whole process. It all made a lot of sense. I felt safe here. I trusted you guys, you and Carolina. I trusted Juanita. It felt pure. It felt clean, and I got a lot out of it. It scares me to go somewhere where somebody's just doing it for the wrong reasons, and have it be, yeah, just have it not be as good of a process, as good of an experience. So. Yeah, I think this is like definitely the beginning of more for me. As like change is coming, I'm going to be a father sometime in the next year or two, and I want to make sure that I can shed some things that I'm carrying around that I think, like, you know, my father, for example, carried around that got handed to me, and I think I can see from this that's what can happen. So. I think it's good to come into this expecting it to be hard. You know, I think some people just, they see the artwork, they see, you know, they have experiences like eating mushrooms or LSD, and it was just this beautiful experience that didn't come with much healing. It might come with some small insights that you can take, but and just experience, you know, seeing some other people's process where they felt, oh, I don't like this, it's just hard. Well, like, I think you need to come into it knowing that it's going to be hard, but that's where the good comes from. It's just like, you know, as cliche as it gets, you know, hard work pays off, or good things don't come easy. So I think it's important to know that it's going to be difficult, but it's also important to trust the process. And being told that seeing these hard things is how to get rid of them. That's what reminded me to stay present, to breathe, just to know, to remind yourself that this is going to last forever. And I think I've experienced that before with psychedelics, where I'm like in a bad place and I feel like this is, oh my God, I'm gone, I'm crazy, I'm not coming back, and then I do. So it's like, I think having that experience for me helped. And I know a lot of people come to this work without having prior experience, so I think it's just, it's good to know from people that do have that experience that things will pass, and you just got to breathe through them, and you'll make it out on the other side.